Hello everybody, it's Claire back with the third project for the Scrap Effects design team for October. So again, I'm playing in the craft junk journal and I'm starting off adding some buff paint from Dina Wakley Media onto my background. There is no gesso on my background at all, so I'm just going straight in with some paint. And I am using one of Dina's big brushes to do this. So as you know, I do love using text on my journal pages. This is one of my favourite stencils from Scrap FX. This is Graffiti Words stencil, and here I'm just using a sponge roller. This is from the children's section in our local craft store. These are fabulous for adding paint through a stencil. And as long as you wash them out straight away, you can reuse them. So you get a really interesting texture of paint with these through the stencils. So I was just having a bit of a play with that and adding some of this stencil onto my page. And you can see the roller will kind of keep a fair bit of paint in there, so you can kind of get more from it than you think. So then I've just added some buff to the umber that was already on there, just to make a slightly lighter tone of the same colour. Wasn't quite light enough, so I went in with a bit more. You've got to use these rollers the same way as you would a brayer, otherwise because you want the paint all over it and not just in one place, because then you get kind of a blotchy application of paint onto your page. So if you haven't got one of those tools, they're not very expensive. You can pick them up quite cheaply. So then I'm going in with mineral, and this is the round to square stencil. I'm just kind of building up some layers of interest on this background, but I wanted to keep them quite neutral because I'm going to be going in with the Speckled Rainbows collage paper, which I designed for Scrap FX. And so there's going to be quite a lot of colour going on there. So this is going to be quite a simple page. There's not a lot happening apart from the stenciled background and the rainbows, and then there'll just be a quote. So it's a really quick and easy page to create. So I've cut all of the speckled rainbows out of the collage paper, and then I'm just going to layer them onto my background, overlapping them like this, using matte medium to stick them in place. So this is one of my, I'm using a Dina Wakley brush, one of my older ones, to apply this gel medium, and it's starting to go a little bit crusty. So I will soon leave it to soak in some Murphy's oil soap, and that will just revive it a little bit. The eternal problem of gel medium ruining brushes, no matter what you try. It's all good. Anyway, so just sort of kind of working out where these rainbows are going to go and overlapping them so that they kind of flow one into another. And then here I'm just pulling those colours down where I didn't quite manage to overlap that rainbow, just so that it doesn't look like it's suddenly floating, just so that it meets the other one as well. So I was just using blackberry and magenta from the scribble sticks there just to pull those colours down. And then I'm just going to outline those rainbows using the Stabilo All pencil. And once I've outlined all of the rainbows, I'm then going to go in and just water activate those lines because I love how that looks. It creates such a cool texture, and you get a lovely soft line as well. So next I'm using one of the phrases from the transparency called Big Phrases, which is new from Scrap FX. And I decided that I would cut it down just so that I could space it out a bit more on my page. If you don't like the fact that the transparencies are glossy, you can just apply a thin layer of matte medium over the top and it will dry clear, but it'll take that shine away. I quite like the shininess. I think it adds a different dimension to a mixed media art page, and I think just having that bit of glossy on your page can be quite a cool effect. I'm also using a little bit of clear glue just to stick one end of those transparencies down, because the left hand side I was able to staple in place, but my stapler wouldn't reach for the other pieces, so I just used a tiny blob of glue. Then I'm going in with my signature dots just to add another dimension to my page, as I often do. And then just using a bit of white paint and my tiny fan brush, and just adding some splatters on there in white as well. So this is as a little bit of a contrast against the colours and the neutral background. And also just because I like how splatters look, and who doesn't love a few splatters on a journal page? I think it can just make all the difference and finish something off quite nicely. And as you know, I use a small brush because I can't be trusted with a big one, because I end up splattering everything in sight, including myself. And there I was just cleaning my phone because I'd managed to splatter it. So there we go, that's the finished page. Quite a simple page, not a lot going on, but very colourful, and love that neutral background too. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.